they're all flushed and red. Imagine hearing this sound of sharp ice skates just slashing back and forth all over the place, and kids yelling and screaming, or maybe even fans cheering for you. All those things have one universal thing in common, and that's hockey in Minnesota. So today, that's what I'll be talking to you about, is ice hockey culture in Minnesota. For this reason, I brought my Minnesota North Stars hat in. If you don't know what that is or who that is, that used to be Minnesota's old professional hockey team. But if you don't know, that's why I'm here to fill you in a little bit, and just tell you guys what hockey means to me and to the whole state of Minnesota. So even though I never played hockey growing up or in grade school, high school, I spent thousands of hours either watching professional hockey games, college hockey games, high school games, or being out there on the rink myself and just having a good time with my friends. So I think would like to think I have a pretty good background about it also. I'll be able to, hopefully with the knowledge I have, give you a brief description of what hockey means to me and to the whole state of Minnesota too. So I think the best way to do that is to talk about, I think, the three biggest hockey influences in Minnesota, and that's the local rinks and ponds we have everywhere that kids play on, the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament, and our professional team, the Minnesota Wild. So like I said before, I'm not the best skater and was never really good enough to play in high school or middle school or whatever. So that's why local rinks are great for me. There are literally thousands of them all over the place. And it's really cool because everyone just can kind of come together. It doesn't matter really how good you are, how fast you are, how old, gender, nothing really matters. Everyone's out there just to have fun and have a good time. And it brings so many people together. Like for me personally, I know I've been to the rink so many times with my friends, and we go up to a group of strangers and like, you guys want to play? And we play for hours and end up becoming good friends. Then we see them the next weekend at this other rink. We're like, hey, so that's what the kind of hockey culture in Minnesota is all about, is like bringing people together for a good time. And local hockey rinks throughout the state is a big part of how it kind of grows throughout Minnesota. However, there are some people that are really good that come to the local rinks and they want a little better competition than what they get sometimes. And that's when high school kids compete in the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament, which happens every year at the Excel Energy Center. That's where the Wild play. I'll get to that in a minute. But that's where I don't know how many teams it is, but all the best teams in Minnesota come and compete for this big trophy every winter. And people come from like all over the Midwest, all over the country really, and just to watch their friends, their old classmates, really everybody. It's so cool. Everyone comes together, has a great time, and get to watch their friends and family out there, and it's very, very cool. It's like thousands and thousands of people watch, and my personal opinion, I know it's biased, but I think it's like the best high school tournament at the high school level. But very, very cool, and again, brings so many people together, and that's what hockey culture in Minnesota is all about. However, the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament is one thing at the Excel Energy Center. It's another thing when you have 50,000 screaming Wild fans in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And that's happened the last 6 years, thankfully. However, we haven't won the championship yet. But I think that's the main professional sport passion in Minnesota, is the Wild. Of the four teams, the Timberwolves, the Twins, the Vikings, and the Wild. So many people care about the Wild, and it's kind of, I like to think it as the cherry on top of a cake of a day of hockey, because you can spend all day at the rink having fun with your friends, watching it, college games on TV, and then you can either go to the stadium or watch a Wild game on TV just to top it off. And hopefully they're beating up on their rival, the Chicago Blackhawks, but that's not always the case. But again, it brings so many people together, so many people have so much passion for it, and really it just brings so much fun and energy to people's lives on a day-to-day basis. So that's what I think hockey culture in Minnesota is all about. So I think those are the three best ways you can look at how hockey culture brings people together. It happens all over the state, really. between the local ranks that I don't even know how many we have, it's thousands and thousands, to the high school tournament, to the Wild. This state's so passionate about hockey, and it really brings so many people together. And it personally has brought a lot of joy in my life, so I think that's why it's so important and so cool. And it's just so easy to connect with people too, because it's like, if you don't know someone, but you do know they're from Minnesota, all you have to say is, hey, did you see that hockey game last night? And boom, you have a conversation piece. So that's what I kind of think is the greatest kind of bringing togetherness of culture in Minnesota. And thank you guys for listening, and go Wild.